Hi guys. Oh, I know it's already Easter. I cannot believe it. I meant to post this video, but hey, I am a mom of five and I am super busy. So I try to just post things when I can. No rush, no pressure. So pull up a chair, have some hot tea ready to go, and I'll go over all of these items. I hope you enjoy.
Scrolling through the aisles, treasure in my cart, hidden gems and steals, that's where we start. Orange lights glowing, skeletons shine. If it's spooky and a bargain, it's mine. Everyday deals, yeah, I hunt 'em down. From cozy home vibes to the best in town. Lifestyle glow up, savvy and kind, you know the name. Kraken finds, we're saving big every time. Halloween thrills on a budget that shines. From clearance racks to collect to gold. Smart little treasures, bold and sold. Come shop and unwind. Spooky steals and lifestyle vibes. Kraken finds.
So I have this set of shelves my husband bought me for my birthday last year, and we were really trying to find something that we can hang in this empty space. And we wanted to have it match the rest of our kitchen, but we also wanted the industrial steampunky kind of style, which is one of my husband's go-tos. And we were going to go ahead and make and install our own, but the price of wood and hardware, everything right now is so expensive. It was going to cost us about $300 or more to create this cabinet. And we actually found this on Amazon for way less. It was less than $100 and it was the perfect color. And we were like, okay, this is it. It's going to save us time. It's going to save us money and it's going to look great. Once we installed it, it looks fabulous. It actually matches our cabinets, which is very surprising because our cabinets are a smoke charcoal color. So my husband installed this in our kitchen and it looks fantastic. So this is a place for me to decorate every holiday or just for the seasons. So I decided to go ahead and do blue and white. And I don't have much blue and white. I did a huge purge the last few years and I got rid of most of my stuff. Everything that I've kept is either items that are sentimental or I tried to sell here on YouTube and they didn't sell, so I decided to go ahead and keep them. Lucky for me, blue and white is in again. I feel like it never really went out of style. It's kind of just always been there. Now I did incorporate a few new pieces and I will go over those. I was going to film myself loading up the shelves and it just took way too long because this literally took me a couple of weeks to put together. All right, so let's see here. On the first part, I went ahead and decorated all these little items, and I'm just going to go ahead and go over everything and tell you where I got them, and if I can remember, I will tell you where I got them. I don't remember how much I paid for everything because some of these things are over 20 years old. All right, so the first thing up here is my collection, a little Delft blue and white ducky set. There are several of them. And there is a big one, that's the mama. And how I decorated this is actually a trinket box. So for my Easter, I went ahead and did the blue and white, as I said, but I also wanted to incorporate some things that come from my collection of British royalty items that I've got too. I really wanted to make this look like English tea time. That's why I did it the way I did. And you'll kind of see everything that I incorporated in here. And so I'll go over everything. This shelf here, I added some paper doilies. I'm not sure I like those because they don't lay right. So the first thing I did was I added some little Delft, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Delft blue duck family. So these are the little ducks because of course ducks, bunnies, eggs, all of that is incorporated in Easter, and they were blue and white. I did try selling these here on YouTube and nobody wanted them. Now I do not sell my stuff for super expensive prices. It just really depends on the audience who is tuned in at the time, and just nobody was interested. This piece here that is sitting under the cloche is a bottom of a trinket box that's turned upside down. And that was actually a gift from a friend of mine. She passed away a few months ago. And this was something she brought back from England on one of her trips. She knows I love stuff from England and I collect it, and she brought it back from one of her trips. Now, there is the large duck there. They all do go together. I do believe they got the same design, so I'm assuming they all go together. I don't know where I got those from. I have no idea. I went ahead and incorporated a small cloche. I think that's actually a votive candle holder turned upside down, but it looks like a cloche. I did get that from another reseller here on YouTube, and I thought it looked fabulous on. Now this is a teacup and saucer set. I went ahead and added 2 teacups on there. I tried to add 3, but it was just too high and I couldn't fit it in there. Now these are by Noritake Grand Monarch, and they are a cobalt blue and gold. And then I had to add a couple of sterling silver jelly and sugar spoons, so those are there too. And then I added, this is actually a brooch. It is adorable. I love it. And let's just get a closer look here. There we go. It's just a bouquet of flowers, and it's all plastic, but it is probably 1960s, 1950s, maybe 1940s. I love the little dome of flowers there. Just a little bouquet, a spring bouquet of flowers. Next, I incorporated this mini glass. I don't know if it's a candy, probably a candy holder, and it has a bird on there. I think it's a dove, and it's so cute. I thought, oh, this is great. I love small items. Look at that. And look at it, just reminded me of an egg. So when you crack an egg and it's in 2 pieces, so that's why I put that there. And in the back, I have these little I guess canisters. They're blue and white. I did get those. Those are new for my blue and white collection. And those are from Home Goods. I believe they were $9.99 a piece. And I grabbed the coffee, the tea, and what I thought was sugar was actually salt. So I did kind of put it behind the cloche there and to hide it so you couldn't see the name, because coffee, tea, salt, it doesn't sound right. But I did go to a couple different stores to find the sugar one. Couldn't find it. I found a bunch of other ones. I'm not interested in getting the whole collection. I just wanted certain ones. And I went ahead and added these little cigarette cards. I bought these off of eBay probably 20 years ago. And they are original 1950s, I believe. And of course, there is, I believe that is King George. I don't remember which one. King George the Seventh. You can probably tell me down in the comments section if you know who that is. And then I went ahead and added Queen Elizabeth and Princess Margaret when they were little, and then of course Queen Elizabeth and her husband George. Now on this middle shelf, I had another one of those little bird candy containers, and this one was actually an egg, and it is all, I do believe it's molded glass, and it is so beautiful. I love the bird on there, and I thought this was just so good to add on to the add-on here. Now, let's see here. What do we have? So I have the New Guide to Etiquette and Modern Manners by John Morgan. That is, I remember when that came out, like everybody had to have that book. So I have that in. I incorporated that so I could use it as a riser because I wanted stuff to be different heights. So I did put that book, and I thought that was just perfect book for this entire shelf. Now these candle holders, I have another one. So it's a set of 2. They are rabbits, and I have no idea where these came from, but they are a cobalt blue and they're really rustic, but they do have a vintage sticker on the bottom. I don't know if it's going to focus on, there we go. So I don't know where that came from. I have tried looking these up and I cannot find them anywhere. And I have tried selling them here on YouTube. Nobody was interested. They kind of thought it was a little weird having double-sided rabbits. They kind of remind me of something from anthropology or something like that, but I could not find them anywhere. Now, I did go ahead and add my sugar and creamer, and those are actually a vintage Bombay company. My husband bought those for me back in the early to mid 1990s. That's when he bought those for me. And they're a beautiful cobalt blue with white and silver trim. Next to it is Big Ben. There's an actual clock in that. That too was a gift from either my dear friend who we lost recently or my mother-in-law. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is like over 20 years old. I don't remember where they all came from. Now, I saw this sign at Home Goods, and it does say Happy Easter and Happy Spring. Hear the birds begin to sing, blossoms bloom, and I can't read the rest. But I saw it at Home Goods and I thought, oh gosh, that's the perfect Easter sign because it's blue and white and it just says Happy Easter. And I went ahead and grabbed it. I have not seen another one at a Home Goods, and I've been to several Home Goods in the last few weeks. And I was like, okay, it was meant to be. All right, so now on my main shelf here, this is the tallest one. I went ahead and took out one of the little slats there. That way I could put that picture there in the background. And let me adjust my camera here so you can see her. There we go. That is Princess Mary of Teck. And that picture is from the late 1800s. That was before she got married. And I thought, oh gosh, this is going to be perfect because she's the right color blue. I bought that frame just like that, probably, oh goodness, 25 years ago in an antique shop. And I paid way too much for it. And I thought, okay, she looks fantastic on that shelf. And if you are wondering, yes, those are LED lights on there. Those do come inside the shelf. So if you're interested in this shelf, I'll try to put a link down below. Now, I also added a cookie canister. That is part of the collection of the little blue and white houses at Home Goods. I found that at another Home Goods recently. So if you're still looking for those little houses, but you really have to look because they do have the little sections of blue and white. And I found that one behind some stuff. So I don't know if somebody was hiding it for later, but I snapped it up. I really wish it said biscuits, but most people here in the US would consider that a dog biscuit canister instead. So it's going to have to be cookies. Again, I have another Bombay piece. This is the teapot. My husband bought me all the pieces, and then over the last 20 some odd years, I have been collecting additional pieces to expand my collection. And I found this little trinket plate with the gold rabbits on there. I got that from a thrift store. I think I paid $1.99 for it. I don't know where they actually come from. It could have been a Michael's or Target item, but I thought, okay, these I could incorporate that and that would offset the gold that I've included in some of the items. And again, I went ahead and added some books. These are both Johanna Lindsay. I took the book covers off and they're beautiful blues. That way I can have the staggered look. Now here I have, this is actually the lid to that trinket box that I put upside down that's underneath the cloche. And of course you have to add jewelry. I am a huge jewelry collector. So I did add some 1960s, 1950s brooches. These are so beautiful. And of course some pearls because you know when you have tea, you have a pearl necklace. And so I added some of those. And here I have several different brooches, small up to the large ones. And this one here is a Limoges from France. It is a porcelain brooch. And then, of course, some beads. Those are lapis and then some crystals. So, fun fact, these crystals from the late 1950s to mid 1960s, they're all to make them that aurora borealis color. They would put a very thin layer of gold on there, real gold. And that's why they have the gold Aurora Borealis. They don't do that anymore. So you can always tell from the vintage ones to the current ones, because the current ones are more of a rainbow or bluish color. But if it's more of the gold, then you know what time period it came from. Now back here, you can't see it very well, but that is a desk calendar of Queen Elizabeth, and it is set for the date of her coronation. And then I went ahead and added another paper doily. Again, I don't like the way these sit. I tried bending it. I went ahead and just left it this way. I wanted to bend it down, but I don't think it would have sat very well. And then I added a couple more cigarette cards. These are vintage, and of course it's the king and queen, which is Queen Elizabeth's parents. And I thought this was such a great setup because you have Queen Elizabeth, you have her parents, and then you have his mother right there behind them. And then, of course, on the cover, on the top or the lid of the trinket box is Windsor Castle. Now, in this really small space at the top here, that is another Bombay vintage piece. I think that would hold silverware, but I went ahead and used it for my tea bag, which are the Twinnings, and I thought those were great colors, the blue ones and then the goldish beige ones. They fit perfectly in there. Now these two pieces here are of course salt and pepper shaker set, and those are by Maddox. They are an Americana design on there is what you're seeing on there. And then you can't see it. Yes, you can see it. I added another cigarette card. I actually have the whole set of those cigarette cards. I love them. Now on that very top shelf here, let me kind of adjust it a little bit more. Whoop. So I have very high ceilings in my kitchen. There we go. And the picture there on the left, that is actually my eldest son when he was a little boy. He is now in his almost mid-20s. So that tells you how old it is. He's got a cute little Andy cap on there, and he's just so darling. And I went ahead and incorporated him in this whole setup. Behind him, it's being held up by a cobalt blue decanter. I wish I can see it better, but it's okay. Next, here is a clear perfume bottle. That was actually given to me by my aunt. And years ago, I've had that for, oh goodness, since, let's see, mid-1990s again. And then I have a foo dog. That is the female. She's holding down the little pup. You're not going to be able to see it very well there under the paw. And I love that piece. I have been trying to find the male one to go with it. And I bought that at a local auction house. And I think I paid $35 for it, and it goes for over $100 just by itself. Next up is a ornament of Big Ben, and that was actually from it was also another piece from our friend who passed away. She gave that to me on her way back from one of her trips to England. And that tall one right there, I got that one at a local thrift store for $7. I do believe it's by Indiana Glass. And then that is just an apothecary jar right there. And I filled it up with jewelry. And then again, a vintage Bombay tea for one set. And I have a white glass top hat, and then a matching Indiana glass candy dish. And that one actually does go with that one. And that one was actually given to me by my grandmother. It belonged to my great grandmother. So it's the only thing I have that is from my great grandmother. And of course, the little vintage Holland house. And I actually use that for our hot chocolate, and it has cinnamon inside of it. On the very edge there is the second rabbit candle holder. And the very last piece is that lady right there. She is, you can use her for multiple things. You can use her to hold handkerchiefs, makeup, a planter, whatever you want to use her for. She is actually from the 1940s. And I'll pop a picture if I can find it again. I'll put it up there. It is a California pottery company that wasn't around very long, and it was all created by this lady here, if I can find her name. And yeah, she's from the 1940s. I actually have quite a few of her California pottery ladies. They look like planters. They are so cool. So this shelf unit does light up, and it does have its own little controller, and you can change all of the lighting to different colors. It is so cool. And the brightness, and here's the little remote control. So when I decorate for every holiday or season, I can change out those colors. And it sits right up above my hot chocolate and tea station. So that is where that sits. And the only thing I don't like about it is the cord that hangs down to plug into the wall, which is right here. I think it's a bit of an eyesore. I have thought about having my husband install a plug behind the wall, but he was like, no, I'm not going to do that right now. So I just buy these tea towels and I just hide them. So that's it, guys. You let me know what you think of the blue and white. And this is the only area in my kitchen and in my entire house that I have decorated for blue and white, as well as Easter. Now, I don't have a lot of Easter items because I don't have a huge amount of space. We've got 7 people living in this house, and it just, everybody's stuff takes up a lot of space. So I did purge a lot of things over the last few years, and I don't have much on Easter, and so I'm okay with that. It's designated in one area, and my husband is happy because it's not decorated throughout my entire house. And again, I'll have that link down below for this shelving unit if you want to get one for yourself. It looks awesome. It does come in this color, the darker wood, and the other brown natural wood. Now they are made of particle board, but it's not going to hurt anything. It's once you get it up, it's probably going to last for many years as long as you take care of it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. And just a quick question: how many ducks do I have on these shelves? You let me know. Comment down below of how many you think there are. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and let me know, what did you think? But I think I'm going to repaint it because I don't like the paint job. I don't like the paint job, and you know me, I like painting little ceramic stuff. That's something you morning. So I'm an early bird. I'm surprised my early bird child is not up yet. He's usually up around the same time I am. They're meant to be painted, so if you touch it up, you're painting it. It's fine. So I thought those were so cute. You got your gear underneath or what?
Oh, it takes me like 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's probably when you were asking.